Alright guys, welcome to JJ's talk show this week. So this week we're going to be talking about movies. So our favorite movies, types of movies we like, things like that. So today I'm joined by a student guest from the 3rd grade. Can you introduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Oh Ji-hoon and I'm in the 3rd grade. And I'm the student president in our school. And I'm invited to this show and I was really glad to come here. And I'm going to talk about movies that I like and some types of movies. And we're going to talk with teachers for some in the lunchtime. And please enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Alright, so who else are we joined by today?
This is Justin.
Hello, this is May again.
Okay, so we're going to listen to a song first. It's called The Movie Song by the band Emery. So after we finish listening to this, we're going to talk about movies. Alright guys, I hope you liked that song. Again, that was The Movie Song by Emery. So, we're going to talk about movies we like and types of movies we like. So first off, let's go ahead and talk to our guest today. Alright. Okay, so what is your favorite movie?
The movie that I like most is Transformer, and there are some reasons. First of all, I like the sounds that robots make. If you watch the movie, there are many sensitive movements of robots, and the really sensitive sounds follow to the actions, and I like that metal sound. And also, CG is really fantastic. Like if you watch the Korean movies such as Hyundai, the CG is kind of bad. Like it looks like just fake. But if you watch Transformer, it just looks like real. Like the robots are playing on the city. It's just reality. So I like that movie.
Yeah, the CG is very good in that. It's done by Industrial Light and Magic. It's by the same company that did the stuff for Star Wars and Indiana Jones. So they have a lot of knowledge with that. And the sound design was very good. So what type of movies do you like?
I like the action movies.
Action movies mainly? Alright. So Justin, do you have any other questions about movies he likes?
When you were in the States, what movies did you see? Or how could you describe your movie-going experience in America?
I've watched some movies with my friends. One of the movie I watched is the X-Men original.
X-Men, yeah.
Yes. When I was in USA, I was in elementary school, so my English was kind of poor, so I couldn't really understand what the actors saying and actress is saying. So I couldn't understand, but I like the actions of actors, because many CGs and actions, many fightings.
Yeah.
I just like the screen, so I just enjoyed it.
That's another part of your whole movie-going experience is that even though at any point in your life, whether your English is good or not, not as good, there's always one line or one scene you always remember in a movie. Take Star Wars, for example. Hearing the line, "Luke, I am your father." Everyone knows that's Darth Vader. Or if you go to another scene in The Matrix, everyone knows that scene. So people usually like movies because you can relate to it. Or even if you can't understand what they're saying, it's always something memorable about that movie. So thanks for sharing your experience. May, do you have a question for June?
I have a question for you. So why do you think the boys in your age prefer the action or science fiction movie to the romantic or sentimental movie? Is there any main reason?
I think teenagers like action movies and romance movies because in our age we can't really experience the things such as love with girls or because most of students in our age just spend our most time on studying, and so we can't really make boyfriends or girlfriends. Also in school we have really strict rules in school. If we have a fight with friends, we got some strict rules, so we can't really fight to friends. So if you watch the movie, we feel like I'm fighting, and we feel like I'm a hero.
You're experiencing
Yes.
indirectly, That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I heard that Transformer has a sequel, 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Is that right? So the third, you watch it? The whole movie, you've
Yes.
seen it? Okay, so the main character's name is, who is it?
I don't know his name.
But I just also read about the critics' comment about the movie. Some critics' comments is that is the worst movie.
Really?
You know? Yeah. So.
I watched all the versions of Transformer, the 1, 2, 3. I think I like one of the factors that I like is one of the reason I like is the actress. You know the version 1 and 2. There is
That's for sure.
Megan Fox.
Okay.
Megan Fox. She's really sexy and she's very attractive. So the guys in the whole world just watch Transformer to see her. And I know the Megan Fox was fired in a third version, but the new girl was
Oh, I see.
pretty too.
Always has to be a pretty substitute for Megan Fox.
Yes.
Really can't go down from there. That's a good point you mentioned, May, is that in cinema you would call it a trilogy when you have 3 movies. The Matrix was a trilogy, even though it really wasn't that good of a trilogy. Star Wars was a trilogy. Lord of the Rings was also a trilogy. So those are all 3 movies combined to tell one story. And so Transformers, I think one of the reasons why the critics didn't like Transformers as much as the young audiences did is because the movie was made one after another. The first one came out in 2007, the second one in 2009, and the third one came out in 2011. And they always made certain changes to it that adults and other Transformers fans really were looking for, but they may have taken it out or may have edited it or something like that. So
And I think there's one more reason there are so many critics that blame the movie. Because I think that the Transformer, the movie is like spending more effort on CG, not more stories. Like
that's true.
I also saw some comments of Transformer in Naver. Most of the critics say the story is really weak. Like they spend most effort and time on only CG. You know, they said all the stories are not really connected with like the connections are kind of weak. That's what they said.
Yeah, it's very good with its action and the CG and stuff. And the director that's doing that movie, Michael Bay, that's all he's known for. He's never really made a movie with good story. He's very good with explosions and action and stuff. So that part of the movie was really good in all 3 of them. I personally didn't like any of the movies, but the action and the CG was some of the best you're going to see right now. So it was really good. So let's move on to May. What is your favorite movie?
Well, first of all, my perspective of movie can be clearly divided in 2 dimensions. The one is about visually satisfying movie, and the other is about truly based on plot or storyline. And so one example about the first one can be definitely Matrix first. It's made in 1999, written and directed by Larry and Andy. Yeah. And it's science fiction and action film. And still, after over 10 years, that's still one of the best movies I can tell, The Matrix first. And the other one is based on the true storyline. It's about Life is Beautiful. The title in French is La Vita è Bella. It's made in 1997. It's about a Jewish man who has a wonderful romance with the help of his humor, but at the same time he has to use that quality of humor to protect his son at Nazi camp. So at the time I heard that was a perfect movie, but I'm not interested in the movie. But nowadays, after 10 years passed, surely I will see the movie someday. Life is Beautiful. Yes.
Cool. All right, so Justin, what's your favorite movie or favorite movies?
Oh, that's a hard question. Right now, I have to say my favorite movie right now, present day, would have to be Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction, it's a very satirical film. It has a lot of actors that, at that time, 1994, the director Quentin Tarantino was casting actors and actresses who really didn't have that big of a resume when it came to film. So it was very interesting to see those actors, very young and still very fresh in the industry, put on a very good performance. Also, that film went against the grain or the formula of a lot of movies at that time. Since the movie Pulp Fiction came out in 1994, also Forrest Gump was in theaters in 1994, and that got a lot of Oscar and awards. Pulp Fiction didn't get that many awards as Forrest Gump did. But still, it was out of the ordinary, and to this day, a lot of people still recognize Pulp Fiction as being one of the best movies ever made. It's on the International Movie Database as the top 250 movies of all time, and I think I really enjoy it. And there's also one thing special about that movie is if you've seen it, or if you will see in the future, there's a suitcase in that movie, and no one knows what's inside the suitcase, and that's what has me watch the movie over and over, is I try to guess what's in the suitcase, and you really never know, you just have to put the pieces together. So Pulp Fiction would have to be my movie.
Alright, so when it comes to my movies, there's a few different ones. First off, I like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, like all of those movies. Because they tell a very good fantasy story, and I've always liked like medieval things and stuff that has to do with fantasy, and so it was just creating a world like nothing had ever been done like that. Having 3 movies all done together, like it's one big world, which that's one thing that always interests me about that. And then more recent movies, the most recent movie that I could say is in definitely my top 5 would have to be Inception.
Yeah.
Just because there was lots of action, but to balance the action, there was a lot of story too. The story was great. It was very confusing sometimes, made you think. I like those type of movies a lot, the ones that make you think. So the guy who directed it, Christopher Nolan, is one of my favorite directors, and he's not that well known until the past few years, but that's definitely one of my favorites. And then a few years before that, I'd have to say The Departed. The Departed is it's kind of a crime story and based in Boston, and that movie is really, really good. Very good story, very good action in that one also. So we have a little bit of time left, so let's talk about if you have any favorite directors. So, June, do you have a favorite director? Do you know any directors? I know at your age you're not really thinking about that. You're thinking more about the movie's cool or something like that.
I don't have a certain director that I like, but I know one famous director, the Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, very, very famous.
He made many good movies. That's what I know all.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg is one of the greatest directors ever. And I'll go ahead and tell you mine, and we'll move on to May and Justin. So mine are, like he said with Pulp Fiction, it's Quentin Tarantino is the director of that movie. Just his movies are great. Like he may have made one bad movie. He doesn't make very many bad movies. So Quentin Tarantino, and then Christopher Nolan as being one of the newest, because he's definitely never made a bad movie. But as far as someone historical, I would have to say that Steven Spielberg is definitely my favorite director that's still around right now. Because if you look at his work, like Indiana Jones, all those 3 movies are great, and Jurassic Park, and all these movies that he's made are all classics. So that's 3 of my favorite directors. I've got a lot more because I'm interested in directors, but let's go ahead and move on to Justin. What are your favorite directors?
Let's see, my favorite directors. Well, aside from Quentin Tarantino and Christopher Nolan, let's see. Probably have to say the Hughes brothers. They've directed a lot of films and relate to black cinema. One reason I like them is because they're two brothers, and they make a lot of realistic films about inner city happenings in the States. So I would say the Hughes brothers. I think another director I would throw on the table would probably have to be, what's his name? Just slipped my mind. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Hughes brothers. The Hughes brothers, they've made films like Dead Presidents, and they've also made some other films. I would go ahead and replace him with Spike Lee. Spike Lee would probably have to be another one of my favorite directors. He's made Do the Right Thing, X, which was a documentary on Malcolm X, and also related to black cinema. So those are two new directors that I like. What about you, man?
So far, I have none. But if I can have to say one person, maybe Sidney Pollack. I'm not sure if he's a director or screenwriter.
Oh, he is, yeah.
Yeah, so this movie, maybe over 15 years ago, Running on Empty. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen it.
Maybe Sidney Pollack.
Okay, cool. Well, are we going to get into the song?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Alright, so that's going to be it for today. Of course, we'll do our normal goodbye after the song. So I'll let Justin introduce his song, and then you'll get to hear what he's got for you.
Alright, well, this song is from the soundtrack of Kill Bill Volume 2, directed by Quentin Tarantino. The song is from Malcolm McLaurin, and the song is called About Her. This is a song played in the scene where Uma Thurman's character finally meets the person she's trying to destroy.
Alright guys, thanks for listening this week, and thanks to our guest June from the 3rd grade. So I've been Jeremy.
I'm Justin.
And May.
Alright, thanks for listening this week, guys. We'll see you next week when we talk about music, and I've got a very special treat. I've got a song from my band when I was in high school, so y'all get to hear that next week. Alright, have a good week, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye. See you next
Bye.
week.